I'm David Antonio Cruz. I'm a painter and performance artist. From an early age, I thought of art as a language. It was always a way for me to express myself or find myself. And I still think that art to me is the way that we find our humanity. It's the way that we learn and know how to see ourselves. It's just paint on panels and canvases. And yet it is a historical document of a time, of a period. And so to see it on those walls and know that someone thought it was important to hold it or save it and preserve it, there was so much power in that. I started working in oils when I was about 16, and I had a really incredible teacher that was trained in a very classical way. It was very rigid in the way that I learned, but I was excited that I was able to understand its history and how it worked. Painting can be very challenging. You're always going against something that's been made, and you're part of that lineage of that history. I started working on the Chosen Family project during the pandemic, and it was a way to document queer families. When we think and talk about chosen families, we're talking about non-biological family structures. I was thinking so much about what happens to a community that's not able to connect or meet at the spaces that were normally considered gathering spaces. I started a series of conversations throughout the country with friends, asking them what was the meaning of chosen family for them. What does this mean? How do you identify? How do you see those family structures in your life? We had gatherings, we had dinners as a way for me to get to know the full community. And then the project really began. When people come in and pose for me, I am interested in that sense of joy, of that play, of that interaction. I always say that when you come to sit for me, you don't sit, you lean, you fall, you drop. And so for me, painting and the act of posing, that play is a form of resistance. It's the way that I get to redefine what that means. The drawings are very intimate, they're very quiet, they're subtle. I start off with a dyeing of the paper, removing the whiteness of the paper, and creating a stain, a gray stain. I built one layer over another layer over another layer, responding to the one that's there. The next layer becomes about a location. There's a beautiful, delicate wax pencil that locks in through the surface where bodies are introduced into that landscape. From a distance, what you see is this space, this location, a map. And as you get closer, you start seeing the bodies, the families interlocked and hidden within that foliage. So it requires a lot of attention or a slow read. They're about the things that happen in the dark, the shadowy moments, the hidden moments. The installation rooms have become a space of meditation for folks to experience the work as if they were living inside of the drawings themselves. The room was constructed for that place of memory or rest. The rooms are decorated with about 32 chandeliers, and each chandelier is covered in brooches and pearls as a way of thinking about the Baroque decadence. But it also has lineage to church and womanhood. It becomes the light source for all the work and how you experience the room. I hope people find themselves in the work that allows them to build even richer connections with their family, their chosen ones, their community. When people see them, they find a place for themselves in the work, knowing that we don't exist alone in this world. We're surrounded by so much beauty. For about 20 years or so, I've been really fascinated by talking about the complexities in the community, who we are as queer folks, challenging the way that I see myself. And so in these moments, I think it's really important to continue that research, to create a space of dialogue, of conversation, of documentation, to talk about people, not to hide or shift our attention from our main goal to be seen, so that we know that we've been here. These markers exist as a placeholder for this time. I don't want the work to only be a marker, a documentation of a history, but I also wanted to speak of the joy, the love, and a reminder to love more. At the core of it is that call for you to give more, to welcome more, to love more, to accept more, to be kinder, be generous, be thoughtful.